Hello, everyone, and welcome to this is episode 36 of the Renovation and Outdoor Living Show, and also welcome to August. Yeah, we're hunting our way down towards the end of the year. The sun's out here in Auckland this August at the moment, a distinct spring feeling outside, actually, and that means even more motivation to get cracking on a renovation or landscaping project. And it is incredible talking to people, how much people are, and both of our guests today, I know, will say this, is how busy everyone is in this space at the moment, how much people are spending. So a lot of nesting going on. So Friday last week, it was all about wall finishes. First, we had an awesome chat with Mark Thompson from Venetian Plaster about this amazing range of lime and marble finishes for inside, mainly inside and outside walls, depending on what sort of finish you want to give it. A particular thanks to Mark for the best answer I've had so far on this program. When I told him how this seemed like a really new and innovative product that I hadn't seen before, he said, "Yep, you could call it new, but it has been around since the time of the Romans, so it's like 2,000 years." So anyway, it's not that new a product, but I think it's being used in very new and innovative ways, which we saw in the pictures last week. We then talked to Rick Watson of Sherwin-Williams that was from their headquarters in Cleveland, Ohio, and he explained that there are now products which allow you to decorate at all times of the year. So no excuse for not getting on with the freshen up in the middle of winter anymore. I think there is a certain temperature point at which it's too hard, but they've got all sorts of cool products which allow you to get around wet/cold conditions. So today's theme, bathrooms. It's always a popular one, this. And so actually on that note, please do give us your comments, particularly if you want to get any questions to our two experts. Shortly, we'll be talking to somebody who we've met before on the show. We'll be talking about vanities. First up, though, tapware, okay? Always one of the big decisions you have to make when you're looking at the finer detail of bathroom renovation. And when it comes to Kiwi tapware in particular, because both of our guests today are from really amazing Kiwi companies, this is Felton. You'll be pretty familiar with the name. 100% Kiwi owned and operated. They've been manufacturing shower mixers from their Auckland factory for more than 50 years. And most Kiwi plumbers will be very familiar. They've got this iconic shower mixer called the Felton Mix, 100% made in New Zealand since the 60s. Their CEO, as you can see on screen, there is Roger Marty, and Roger's joining us now. Roger, that is something you guys must celebrate every day. It's not just the age of the company, but it's the fact that you've been based around, and you're not doing one product, but based around one product since 1968. I mean, what is it about this product genuinely that makes it so much more enduring than anything else, maybe out of Germany or China?
Oh, I mean, it is a bit more than just one product, but simplifying things, yeah, we've sold almost 1.7 million of the basic shower mixer over the last 52 years. And I think the reason for that is it's simple. But most importantly, it works, and it works on the unique, unequal, and low water pressures we have in New Zealand.
Now, this is the key, really. It's made by New Zealanders in New Zealand for New Zealand conditions.
That's right.
Yeah. And so, tell me what is unique about those, because if we're going down the road now to start choosing our tapware for the bathroom, there are many considerations, and let's talk about this particularly, as in your water pressures. What should you be thinking about here?
Well, number one, when you're looking at tapware, is talking to your plumber and getting your plumber around, and ideally using the same plumber over a long period of time, so he's familiar with your home, because a lot of people, for instance, think they have unequal pressures. They go shopping for a certain type of tap or a certain type of shower mixer, and then we get the call when there's an issue, the mixer's not mixing correctly. It is possible that in your home you don't just have one combination of water pressures. You might have equal low pressures, say, to the shower. There are a number of reasons for that, but number one in selecting any tapware is talk to a plumber first.
Does that make it hard for you guys, though? Because you would get people coming off the street, wouldn't you? They know Feltonware, they know the brand, they know that they trust it. They've probably had it in their last house, and they want to get some more. And they're coming off the street, and the first thing you have to do is say, actually, can you bring your plumber along, because it's such an important. I mean, it is obviously a really essential part of the decision on not just shower heads, but on everything.
Well, the first question we ask if we're involved, but most often it's our merchants who are commonly plumbing merchants like Plumbing World and Myco. The first question they'll always ask when you go into a showroom is, what sort of combination of water pressures do you have? And that really determines the subset of products that they can offer. If you're in the 40% of New Zealand homes that has low pressure hot water. So in New Zealand, there are probably, I would say 70 or 80 tapware brands, and there are 5 brands that actually design product for what we call New Zealand conditions. And when I say New Zealand conditions, what that really means is low pressure hot water. You might have equal low pressure hot water, or you might have unequal pressure hot water, where you've got cold water coming in at anywhere up to 20 or 30 times the water pressure that you have on the hot tap.
So once the plumber's given you the right advice on this, or your various agents, there are other things which you have to consider, like who's actually using the shower, because I've noticed that being able to change what would you call it, the aperture or whatever, the type of experience you're going to have is different. Horses for course, different people, different strokes or whatever.
Yeah, if it showers, typically the shower you like, Rawdon, probably is not the same shower I like. Some people like a softer spray, some people like a harder spray, and that's all related to the design of the shower head. And I guess an analogy is if you're outside watering the garden, if you want the water to go a long way, and hit the lettuces at the far end of the garden, you put your finger over the end of the hose and just leave a little bit of what we'd say aperture open, and the water speeds up and goes further and hits with a little more force. And that's what we're talking about with shower heads. Some are designed for a soft, broad, sort of twinkly rain spray, and some give a pretty stiff shower.
So I want to go back to the image which we were looking at just before this. I'm just going to quickly switch it in. Well, I'm not. Somebody else much cleverer than me is going to, because there's so many questions I've got about this. Here we go. First is, this is in our bathrooms, it's the same, where you've got the big sort of rainforest head, but you've also got the more sort of practical sort of handheld bit which you want. Are the rainforest heads really popular, or are they a bit gimmicky? Because they look great. Everyone's got them, but I don't know. I don't use them a lot because, I can't really direct the water, if you know what I mean.
Very popular. I'd say in new builds, we see them go in about 50% of the time. Can't say whether or not people do use them, but they give you a different shower experience. And, the analogy I just gave you about putting your finger over the end of the hose, we have a sort of a rating system for our shower heads that if you look in a Felton catalogue, you'll see this thing called aperture area. And that's just the area of all the little holes in the head added up in square millimetres. And one of those rain heads, how they work is they have a really big aperture area. So I don't know if if your guests have showered in a place like Fiji on low pressures. Yeah. It's a bit like showering under a bucket. One of those rain heads doesn't necessarily use any more water than the little handpiece on the end of the hose. It's just that the water comes out very, very slowly and over a period.
Gravity rather than pressure. Sadie's just written in saying rain heads are awesome. See, Sadie, I think the thing here is that you have people who just want to just completely relax rather than the shower, not think about anything and have the water running on them. So pretending they're in Fiji probably, and that's your rain heads. Or you've got the others who are just trying to get clean really quickly and then need to get out, and that's when the other heads come into use. Now, the other thing I noticed in that picture we were looking at was there's this little control box, and I was going to ask you about innovation, because it's all very well. This is a better picture of it here. Next to those bottles, that little box there. Because you've been selling shower heads and other items for 50 odd years, but you must innovate a lot as well. And I'm wondering whether this is something which you need to. What is it?
I guess where we're moving as a business and where we see tapware moving, like most other building products, is smart home.
Yeah.
And what we want to get into is looking beyond just the individual taps and individual mixers into the interconnection of them and being able to control, say, remotely fill a bath while you're driving home to a preset depth and temperature. And what this is one of our early what we call digital showers. And what it is it's a little, it is actually a little computer. It controls flow, temperature, but it allows you to have 3 presets. So let's say, Rawdon, you like a fairly hot, high flow shower. You can set up your preferred preset. And the way this mixer works, it will always empty the water in the hot pipe first rather than the cold pipe. And then as it gets up to temperature, it's thermostatic. It will give you absolutely no temperature fluctuations, irrespective of whether somebody else in the house flushes the loo or turns the dishwasher on. Your temperature won't change, but it's got a memory in it. Then when your wife jumps in 10 minutes later, she might like a cooler shower with half as much flow as you, rather than playing around with the control and working out where she prefers it. She can just press her preset.
And that's genius. And I hadn't thought about the fact that you can. Okay, I could understand why you'd want to alter the flow. That for the experience, but the temperature as well is absolutely genius. And what's going on here? Because this again looks like something I've never seen in a bathroom before.
This is the same thinking. We use the same processor in a different way, and this is just a display. It's not but it's 3 real mixers, and just with a different style handle. So it's actually a push button to actuate the mixer. You've still got 3 presets. It's still thermostatic. And all we're doing here on this display is showing one of the features of the system, which is ambient lighting. You can preset any color of the rainbow and use the mixer as background lighting or as a night light in the bathroom.
That is really cool, isn't it? That is just. Hey, now Sadie's been writing some comments. She said, "Yeah, get one of each of them, Rainhead and that." But yep, I think that's what most people get now. Sadie loves this pre-controlled, digital smart home type of technology. She said that's so cool. Our shower fluctuates when the dishes are being done, the teeth are being brushed, etc., etc. Now, Sadie, I've got a solution. You've got two options here. One, you get your plumber to get down and buy yourself some Feltonware, one of these cool digital, or just do the dishes in the shower. It's an obvious solution, Sadie. I'll let you decide which one of those is more practical. Hey, very quickly, Roger, what sort of cost? What do you need to spend now on a decent shower mixer?
A decent mechanical mixer or one of these digital?
Yeah, give us the comparison.
Well, the digital version with a rain column, the thing with the rain head and the handpiece pictured, and the little screen, feedback screen on it is around $3,000 retail. So it's certainly not cheap. Slightly less functional, the same rain column with something more like the second image you put up as a mixer is around $1,500 retail. And that's through people like Plumbing World, Myco Bathrooms.
Yeah.
Where it's available nationwide.
Yeah, okay. So it's like everything else when you're doing up bathrooms, there's going to be a huge cost fluctuation depending on how much luxury you really want to get in there. But interesting stuff, Roger. Thank you so much indeed for giving us a little bit of an insight into what Felton is up to at the moment. Some good looking products, and long may it be. Another 50 years, do you reckon?
Hopefully.
I reckon so.
Thanks, Rawdon.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. We'll catch up with you again soon. Cheers. So you've chosen your taps. Your next job is to choose the vanity, okay? Because for this, we've turned to another all Kiwi company. another really established Kiwi manufacturing and research and retail company. And this is St. Michel. We've spoken to them before on this show. These guys have been around for about 30 years. They're probably New Zealand's leading bathroom furniture brand, still a family-owned business. And Jodie. Hi, Jodie. This is Jodie Rudman, who the national sales manager, 20 odd years in the bathroom business, but for the last St. Michel. Nice to see you again, Jodie. Last time we were on the show, we were talking about mirrors, and I started off by asking you what I'm going to ask you again: what it is you love about bathrooms so much? Because it just always strikes me that this isn't just about a sales job. This is you actually, or even just houses generally. It's bathrooms for you, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm afraid so. I love it. So I think I might have told you this last time, but for me, bathrooms are really important. And if you've got the opportunity to renovate or build and do your bathroom, then I think you really need to spend a bit more money and get it right first time, because every day the first place you go is your bathroom. And if you're disappointed every morning, then that sets you up for the day. So that's kind of my life theory, shall we say, and why I'm so passionate about bathrooms.
It's a good theory. And people who would also see the reverse of it and think that's the last place you go before you get into bed at night. So again, you want to just chill out a wee bit. Now, you mentioned the cost of this, because I mean, you can spend a lot on making over a bathroom. What have you got any idea what the average cost is?
Yeah, well, it really depends. Like kitchens, bathrooms have been increasing in price, but your average bathroom is probably going to cost you sort of 10 grand upwards, and the bulk of that cost is going into your behind the wall stuff like your labour, your plumber, your tiler, your builder, and all the fittings in behind the wall, like pipes, taps, waterproofing, etc., etc. So when you look at the cost of a vanity, which, you can get cheap vanities, but if you look at the cost of a decent vanity, it really pales in comparison to the overall cost of the bathroom renovation or build. So yeah, it's worth spending a little bit more and getting exactly what you want.
Yeah, that makes really good sense, doesn't it? Because and it's a bit like what Roger was just saying. You could probably hear our chat. Those mixers, you could spend maybe 1,500 up to $3,000 for the latest, coolest the mixer. So, and I remember when we did up our bathroom, there was this decision. Having chosen the vanity and chosen everything, and it was all looking amazing. There was this one extra bit. You could get an extra towel rail under the vanity. It was optional. Did we want to get it? $400, but you get it because it looks great, and how much the value of a good-looking bathroom has when it comes to reselling the house.
100%. Look, I'm in the same situation. I just bought a new house, and the first thing we're doing is taking out the vanity and the ensuite and replacing it, because it looks really nice, but it's really not very practical.
And and you got the same Michelle, so you'd have been no.
Wow.
Now, I'm interested in you as a company, because what do you make your vanities out of? Is it MDF? Is it wood? What is it?
Yeah, so we make our vanities out of melamine, sourced from New Zealand Sustainable Board. So we support the New Zealand Forestry, Sustainable Forestry. So when you're looking at a St. Michel vanity, it's not just being made in New Zealand. We're also supporting other New Zealand manufacturers. So right through to the guy that drives it from the plant where it's been processed, to us. So yeah, the layer of New Zealand made in our game is pretty strong.
Yeah, and the reason why, and it's really great that it's all New Zealand made, and as you say, that the spin-off from that is huge when it comes to all the other industries, getting that raw material to your work, to your manufacturing plant. But the reason why I ask is because I've seen a couple, and we've had this problem, beautiful looking vanities. About 3 or 4 years, you suddenly notice a bit of swelling because there's a little bit of moisture's got in, and it might be a cheap material. It looks fantastic with but there's a cheap material under the plastic coating, and suddenly you're kicking yourself for not getting the more expensive vanity in the first place.
Yeah, look, and there's even differences between different melamines. So we use a product on the edge of our melamine called Aqua Edge, and that basically moisture seals and helps keep the moisture out, and also helps it on those surface areas, those corner areas and things from impact damage. So we've been running that technology for 8 years, and we've had no rejections on it. So we're really, really proud of that technology.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So we've established that we want to get something from St. Michel because of the quality, New Zealand made, and now you've got the range. How do you actually choose that? Give us an idea of the range.
Look, there's so many different styles when it comes to vanity. So what you need to think about is, things like whether you want it down to the floor, so a floor standing vanity, whether you want it wall hung. Wall hung vanities are great in small bathrooms at creating an illusion of space. They're also better for cleaning around as well. The other big trend at the moment is vessel basins, so bench tops with a basin sitting on top. Or if you want a console basin, which is something that's already, it's a top with a basin already in, it's all one piece. So those are the two probably big decisions. And then it comes down to personal style. So handles or negative detail. And then the storage is another really big factor. So like I just mentioned before, my new house, my vanity and my ensuite, the storage is really, the drawers are tiny. You just can't fit anything in them. So we're ripping them out and putting in some St. Michelle vanities because we want more storage. I don't know why we have so much stuff in the bathroom, but I think most of us do. So, yeah.
So I think you need to, right, St. Michelle, your designers need to work with the people who manufacture the plastic spray bottles for cleaning products. Because I've noticed how it's always about 3 millimeters at the top. So they're just, anyway, it's a...
So we do have a solution for that, Royden. So we do a lot of our vanities with drawers and then a cupboard for those taller bottle storage solutions, and that works a dream, actually. Yeah.
Cool. Right, you've already covered that. Well done. Because storage would be a huge part of the issue. Now, what about sort of hiding stuff away? Because particularly as let's be honest, a lot of bathrooms now are getting smaller and smaller. And you want to hide all that stuff away. Maybe it's the cleaning products or bins and that sort of thing.
Yeah, so some of the innovations our design team have come up with is putting bins inside of vanities. Now that seems like a really obvious solution. We've been doing it in kitchens for years, but when we introduced that to market about 6 years ago, everyone went mad for it. So we have bins in some of our towers and a range of our vanities. We have an on-to storage system in our city vanity range, which is really awesome. Most of the ladies really love it. So it gives you little storage boxes and facilities that go inside the drawers, that fit inside the drawers. So yeah, help keep things tidy and stop them rolling around.
Yeah. What about colour? I mean, we've seen quite a good range of colours nowadays, but because on the slides we've been looking at, but is it? Can you be very versatile with colour now?
Absolutely. So we have about 20 standard colour lines in our portfolio, but we also have an amazing range called the City range, and I'm going to bang on about that. That's an image of it there. Where, because it's an inlaid cabinet, and when I say inlaid, I mean that the drawers and cupboards are inside of the frame of the vanity. It means you can have colour blends, which means that you can have a standard vanity that looks really bespoke because you've done it to your own kind of colourways. So that one's got a black surround on it. We also do matching HPL tops now, as well as a product called Cherry Pie, which is like a Korean bench top. So we've got all these new looks and colours, which makes it really exciting for customers to kind of be able to play around. And in our showroom in Henderson, we've got it all set out so that you can take fronts off and change tops around so people can play and get it right before they buy. Yeah.
And have you ever use a toilet in your showroom?
We do have toilets in our showroom. We've set up a powder room area where we've drawn out on the floor standard size toilets so we can show how a vanity can fit, because we've got some really little powder room vanities that have toilet roll holders and stuff like that in them, and also even our smallest ones still fit a toilet roll storage inside of them. So we've mapped that out so people can really visualize that.
That's cool.
There's our little one. Yeah, that's one of our little vanities that we released in November last year. So that's really cool, that vanity. It's called the Spin.
And that actually has that toilet roll at the top. That's
Yeah.
the one you access, isn't it? That's the one you actually use at the top there. So the cupboard closes on that, does it? Or on the front?
Yes,
on the
absolutely. And so you can reach in from the side. Yeah.
Very cool. That's awesome. Hey, good to speak to you, Jodie. Thank you so much for giving us some more time.
You too, Roy.
And we'll have a chat next time. We've got plenty more bathroom things to tick off before we've done mirrors and vanities, but there's another 10 things.
Sounds good.
Okay. Yeah, great. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye, Jodie. Now, it was interesting because talking to Jodie and Roger before, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, they were both saying that they have just had soaring sales and so much interest in business since well, I think when we saw Jodie during lockdown, when we were talking about mirrors, she was saying they were getting all this traffic inquiring, and since then they've been selling. And then Roger was saying that their June was the busiest, last year was the busiest ever, and the June just gone was 40% up on the June before. So that just shows after a bit of a lull, they're now hugely busy again. So great news for the industry there. Now, competition time, very quickly. We're going to draw this on the 14th of August. So that's in about, so a week on Friday, we'll draw this competition. This is the Cry Cup Maker, valued at $699. As you can see there, this is a cutting machine, okay? It's a smart computer-controlled cutting machine, helps you make basically professional-looking DIY projects. If you love your DIY, you will absolutely adore this. If you want to have a go at trying to make things like your tiles or your furniture look cool, or maybe make some bespoke labels, again, Cry Cup Maker, there are or to create stencils for your intricate patterns if you're doing some painting. So many things you can do with this, but $699, you can get it from Spotlight Warehouse Stationery or Imagery, or you can win one here. And all you have to do is tell us what product you would like, what project you would most like to do if you got yourself a Cry Cup Maker, okay, and like the page. But tell us what project you would use the Cry Cup Maker for, and we will draw that a week on Friday. $700 worth, pretty good. Right, today's top 10, Tuesday top 10. These are the top 10 best drawings that a father turned into realistic pictures. These are children's drawings that Dad has, using his brilliant sort of computer graphics knowledge, turned into realistic pictures. Okay, at number 10, this is a pigeon. This is the pigeon. That is the picture on the right, as you can see, just to try and explain this to you. That is the real animal as Dad would have then created. Number 9, we've got the dog up a tree with bird legs, because that's children, and why not? It's an extraordinary looking creature. It's got feathers, but it's a dog. At number 8 was the miniature goldfish. One eye, 2 teeth. Number 7, the woodpecker. This little munchkin decided to draw a woodpecker, and that's how it looked. Nice big human smile there. Number 6, we're not quite sure, a duck, a goose, or possibly a swan. But that's what that cute little drawing turns out to be when Dad actually makes it into a real animal. Number 5, the seagull. That's outstanding. That's a seagull on LSD in the bottom left-hand corner. At number 4, the elephant. And I wonder if that's where an elephant's mouth should actually be. That's hilarious. I don't know where the original drawing is of that one.
And number 4, we have the shark. That's how the kid has actually drawn the shark for the parent to design for him.
Oh, that's brilliant. Am I back in? Hey, Ravina, thank you for stepping in there. I don't know what the heck happened there, but your description sounded a lot better than mine. Number 2. We got to number 2. This is the cow. Of course it is. Great looking udders on that cow. And number 1, of course, the easiest animal to draw, the horse. Actually, it's a great drawing, and it's quite a cute little sort of animal. In fact, looks like a sort of anteater horse. Anyway, those are your top 10 for Tuesday. The top 10 children's drawings turned into real animals by a Dad with clever graphics technology, etc. Thank you for your help there, Ravina. I don't know what happened when I dropped out of the show. Anyway, we'll do it all again on Friday. Look forward to seeing you then. Bye-bye.